visitation process at IS-52 was created as a way to provide a streamlined approach for teachers to collaborate with their colleagues. And there were kind of three key ideas for why we wanted to do this. One, we wanted teachers to engage in professional conversations around instructional practices and student learning. The second was for them to build relationships with and learn from their colleagues. And the third was to monitor their own professional growth through ongoing observations and feedback. So this year we decided to select 8 teacher leaders. We gave them some professional development and support on conducting low inference observation notes and how to provide feedback to their peers. And then we paired them up with 8 other teachers in the building. And together the 16 teachers created the Interclass Visitation Protocol. The Interclass Visitation Protocol consists of 3 pieces. The first is the pre-visit conversation, where the 2 teachers come together to establish the focus of the observation using the IS-52 rubrics.
So what do you want me to focus on during this visit?
Since you will be there second period and you will be able to see the sharing part, I would like you to focus on my questioning techniques. I know I've been utilizing questions in my daily instruction. I think effective questioning would really be very important to work on.
They decide on a time for the interclass visit and the debriefing, and then they review the entire process together.
So, so I'll visit your class on Monday, right? Period 2, and this is class 703. So let's just go over the purpose of this interclass visitation. Like we mentioned a while ago, that it's not evaluative. I mean, I'm not here to evaluate you. You're not here to evaluate me, but this is just a way for us to collaborate.
The second part is the actual interclass visitation, where the observer visits the classroom and conducts a low inference observation. Then they complete the feedback form, and the feedback form consists of 2 key parts. The first is them just noticing key observations, and the second part is thinking about questions for the teacher to consider. The teacher observed then completes the teacher reflection form, and this asks them to think about whether or not they accomplished the goal of the lesson, to think about whether or not they've aligned their lesson to the instructional shifts, and it also asks them to bring some key ideas to the post-visit conversation. The third piece is the post-visit conversation, where the 2 teachers come together again. They share their reflections, they talk about the instructional shifts, and then they decide on next steps.
Yeah, I want to share with you the notes that I took during my visit, actually. And so I actually took some notes, and I focused especially on your questioning techniques. So the first thing that I observed was that, well, the kids were really engaged. There's no question about that. So one of your students, Andy, presented his work on the board, and then you asked the class what they thought of Andy's solution. And I think somebody said, no, he's wrong. And then you ask Andy, what do you think of that? And instead of giving him the time to process, you instead explain it for him. I think it's important that, you know, we give students time, enough time to really process the questions, so that you know, hopefully they'll develop into, you know, solid mathematical thinkers, and that's exactly what our goal is.
I think that's a good point.
The key thing about the interclass visitations is that they are non-evaluative. The teachers are paired up for an entire year together, and since the process takes about a month to complete, each teacher completes an observation once every other month. The feedback we get from the interclass visitations allows us to make decisions about what professional development is needed in the building and who can provide the professional development to our teachers.